black, and that is because of Joe Biden. So when y'all say y'all voting for Joe Biden, you're voting against your people. If you had a choice to vote for who put black people in slavery and who let black people out of slavery, that choice should be clear because Biden is the one that locked us up and Trump is the one that let us free. Regardless of how you want to feel, when we get to the facts are Joe Biden massively incarcerated black America and Trump set them free. That's just the truth.
Well,
my money on Trump.
You and the people you worked with helped up under Trump to free black people.
Yeah, but y'all need to understand that us, like me, I advocate, I fight, and I had a very compelling story that moved him to sign the executive order. But at the end of the day, we got to remember that we're not the president. Only the president could do that. Trump did that. And if he is this racist that they say he is, know that he did not have to sign that executive order, bringing nearly 91% of 10,000 people that are black home from prison. Not only that, let's also talk about the fact that this president has not only defunded Planned Parenthood, but called them out for them targeting African Americans. Remember, 46% of our population has been... No, I'm just saying. If y'all talking about the black vote, why are we aborting our votes and why are we killing our own army? Imagine how much stronger and much more prominent we would be if half of our population had not been aborted. There's strength in numbers. That's just good game. You need to get that from your mama. You want $1 or you want $1 million, right? I could come put $1 in your hand right now. But if I had $1 million to put in your hand or $3 million, you would be that much better. You would be that much stronger.
Okay, so
there's strength in numbers.
Moving off of that whole topic, back to the central theme because we get real derailed, and I didn't really want this to be a politics thing because a lot of these. Well, no, I'm saying it took a slight turn into politics, and a lot of these people.
Yeah, this is supposed to just be about us.
Right. That's why I keep trying to. But when you get on your tangents and you let me talk, don't mute my mic. Then this will be done. So we rarely get back in. Boom. Back to the central statement. A lot of you guys may not like my mom. The whole reason for me going down this alley. A lot of you guys may not like my mom because she has worked with the President Donald Trump. But as far as the whole Coon comment, this woman has helped free over 10,000 black people.
They don't
period. Don't add nothing onto that. Don't add nothing onto that. Don't add nothing onto that.
Feel like
this woman who y'all call from has helped free over 10,000 black people. Period. Don't add nothing onto that. Just let that sink in.
Some of y'all uncles and daddies and cousins and nephews and mamas and sisters and some of y'all people. And if Harriet Tubman was afraid to work with white people, she would have never freed the slaves. You can't be afraid. We gotta, take advantage of the favor that God bestows us. We have to take advantage of opportunities. When the window of opportunity is open, you got to slide in it. Just imagine if I would have been on something emotional and be like, I'm not going to go tell Trump my story. I would have never been able to change the law. Like, the pain and suffering that I experienced, no other woman has to experience that. You understand where I'm coming from? Someone said, what if you can't raise them financially? Baby, I grew up poor, but I'm not poor now. And not only that, my life is mine. So now I'm a grown.
We're not going back to that.
I've given my children life. So the best gift that you can give is life. All the rest will take care of itself. Stop letting these people tell you we'd be better off killing our babies and that abortion is health care, because that's a lie. That's a lie. They want to keep us the minority. That's what I want to get y'all to see. Once y'all understand that and you still want to make a decision, that's up to you. But understand that these people are diabolical and this is their way of keeping us the minority. I need y'all to have that truth. Okay. What else, Jay?
So now, moving out of politics, we're not going back. Clip it off. Y'all may not like my mom before. Y'all may... Well, y'all don't know her not to like her.
Jay, you can't be worried about...
I'm not letting
somebody like your mama.
Because you're going to throw me off the way you said I was throwing you off. You guys may not... No, don't hang... You throwing me off. When you say stuff, you're throwing me off. It's my interview. Okay, so a lot of people may not agree with my mom for how she feels about certain topics and some of the things she says, but ultimately look into the character of her heart and what she does and how she's helped people. She's helped people, and that's just period. Now, moving on. We out of this. So my younger relationship with a lot of my siblings, for some reason, a lot of people have the common misconception that I used to just get bullied by my brothers and everything and all like that. Like I just used to get beat up by my brothers, and I was like, I had a regular relationship with brothers.
No, he used to beat them.
I was the bully.
Used to beat them. He was the bully. They weren't the bullies. He was the damn bully.
I was the bully. But that's something that I wanted to clear up.
Who said that? Who thought that?
Somebody would bully. I'm joking. Okay, so anyways, for some reason, it's this common misconception that I used to like get abused by my brothers and by my siblings, and if anything, I was the antagonist when I was younger. Y'all think I read on Bigger? I used to read people in real life, and that's kind of just me growing up with my brothers. But ultimately, I'm really close with them. I love them. If I pick up the phone and call them, they love me. Like I don't even think it's much that we need to elaborate on that.
Nah, that wasn't no roach. It was a damn gnat.
They giving it up.
Ain't no roaches around here, B. We stopped living with roaches about how long we been roach free, Jay? About good 16, 17 years.
We got money now on both.
Yeah.
Anyways.
No. We know what they look like.
Now what I'm gonna do
down buy no roaches too. We ain't gonna never forget the struggle. We just ain't got them now. But go ahead, baby. I'm sorry.
Please. Well, I don't care. But okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually open up the panel to
not the questions.
I'm trying to think if I really care to do it.
Let them on for a minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna let people on for like 7
It's 10:13. I gotta go at 10:20. That'll be perfect. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let some people up who have genuine real life questions. If you say anything relatively disrespectful, I'm gonna kick you and block you myself.
Boy, you gonna get roasted by Jay and his mama. That's what.
And I don't think this is what you want. So
this is not what you want, B.
And if a big old girl try it, I promise you, I will bully you until I get a hate train. But with that being said, I'm not scared. I ain't no punk. You ain't no punk. We gonna let the people up. And if you have a genuine question, come up. Let me see. Who do I want to add up first? I'm not letting up none of the no. It's just no shade. Who do I want to let up first? I actually want to let up some girls because I think they may have genuine stuff what they want to say. Let me see. Let me add up Leah. Go ahead, boo.
Hello. Thank you. Hello. Well, first of all, I just want to commend you on being here and telling your testimony. I definitely want to commend you on that. What I wanted to ask was, what is your take on mental illness as well as furthering education within the community of African communities on mental illness?
Well, we definitely need to make sure that we are pushing support for people that have mental illness. I think that when we saw a big influx of people going to prison was when they closed down all of the mental health institutions. And what they did was started just throwing people in prison and not rehabilitating them, just punishing them. I think a lot of us deal with mental health issues. A lot of us have traumas that we've experienced from the past that we're not able to move by. So that'll definitely be something that's on my agenda. And school choice for our children, to make sure that our children have access to the opportunities that their children have access to. So thank you so much for asking that question. Both of those are very important.
Yeah, Leah, you ate that. No shade. Listen, that was a good question. And she's a part of my family on here. I'm like a founder. I'll explain it to you another time. Who do I want to let me let up Louie from the New Era. I'm going down the list of people I know. I'm really not letting up people I don't know. Like, because there's some people who genuinely got questions, and there's some people who want to key. I'm gonna let up the people I know. No shade. Go ahead, boo.
Hello, I'm a frontline worker as well as a frontline protester. And I just wanted to know what was your views on the rebuilding the justice system.
Well, that's exactly what I'm fighting for. I've been involved in criminal justice reform for the last 2 years. We definitely have to rebuild our justice system, and that's also another reason why I'm running for Congress. I hope you all understand that as long as they make the laws, we have to abide by them. So what I'm seeing now is I'm seeing them playing with our emotions, right? Because they know the laws, even with this Rayshard Brooks shooting that just took place. It's a well-known fact that the charges aren't going to stick. And they know that. So the only thing they did was they hyped us up to make us believe that we're going to get justice. And then 7-8 months later, they're going to get off. So what we need to do is start running for office, putting people in Congress that represent us so that we can make laws that make this land comfortable for all of us to live in. As long as they make the laws, we have to abide by them. So getting in, dismantling that system, creating new laws that don't target us is one of the forefronts of the fight.
That was a good question, Louis. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm gonna add up Timmy and Sequin because a lot of people in the comments are saying add them. Y'all gotta.
So look, am I gonna get paid for this? What's all these little beans and stuff? I got some money?
Yeah, they go into your account, but I don't know if you're gonna be able to.
You about to lose your job. You about to lose your job.
I think that people really do live for you.
You about to lose your job.
Okay, so
take all your fans, Jay. Y'all come follow me. Jaybez ain't talking about nothing. No, just.
I'm deleting Big off her phone after this, so good luck. Timmy and Sequin, get in the request. I'm finna let y'all up. I don't really see y'all in the request, but people are telling me to add y'all.
But you is detaining me for nothing.
Okay.
Detaining me. Okay, let go.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it's okay, but hello, Miss Stanton. It's good to see you on Bigo. And, I understand what you're doing. But I hate to, tallywhack back to what you had said. You were pro-life, and you said you do believe in, alternative methods aside from just giving abortion. Was that correct? Or did I mishear that?
Well, I think you got part of what I said and what Jay said as well, but I'm all for giving women other options besides abortion, of course. I mean, adoption is an option, and also helping them, right, and putting them in a position, teaching them how to make money so they can care for their children. So I'm for anything else besides aborting, because we just, as a mother, we don't get to play Russian roulette with our children. One of the children that we abort could be the very child that God sent to change the whole dynamics of our life situation.
Okay, so I understand. I understand the comments are thinking I'm about to do the pro-life, pro-choice thing, but that wasn't what I really meant for. It was about doing the adoption reform. Because again, if you were looking at the adoption reform back in 1970, they did enact that act for the adoption reform to happen, but it also just passed the bill for the fake legislation over birth certificates and hand out fake certificates after you were adopted by a certain parent. So again, a lot of their records were honestly diminished and honestly trashed. A lot of their old records used to be basically trashed and put into databases so they can. Ooh, it's an excellent.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I had just put on Twitter today that if I'm elected once in office, one of the things that I want to do is introduce legislation that funds adoption instead of abortion. Because what they want to do now is give billions of dollars to Planned Parenthood to abort our babies.
Right.
People that want to adopt the babies, they have to pay all of these huge fees, sometimes mounting up to $30, $40, $50 dollars. I think that we should put that funding into adoption and putting these children with families that love them. So thank you so much for bringing that up.
And then also another question I had about the adoption reform, because again, they once tried it, I believe in 2001, they tried the reform once again. That reform basically allowed for a lot of records to be, to actually be enacted again. The data was released. Oh, this is all public knowledge as well. I was, did a couple of research. I did a paper on this a long time ago. So again, with all the records that were released, they also, with the records that were released for the new parents, they also began to assign paperwork for them to expunge basically a lot of, I would say a lot of their background, a lot of their nationalities and things. You also became the new nationality of whoever adopted you. So again, you were yes. So also in some states, also they also with their reforms, it was also a lot of views where certain parents couldn't adopt certain kids because of also I believe it was different conflicting views, religious. It was religious views. You had to adopt the religious views of who your parents was. And so with a lot of views of you being 16 years and up with those reforms, it actually, I couldn't remember if it was 2005 or 2006. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to quote you about a lot of things wrong. So let's see. I believe I can't remember what states though, but I believe it was one of the states was Mississippi, another state was Oregon, and of course Oregon is a blue state, which like again I'm not understanding why this reform happened there, but that's also another thing. I just want you are you going to reform that as well?
So you have just brought something to my attention that I wasn't aware of, and I think that does need to be reformed. I don't think that we need to completely erase the past of these children, because once they're adults and it's time for them to learn and know truth, then they have every right to go research their history and to find their extended family. So I'm all for looking at that issue and readdressing it. So thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Yes, okay.
And I want to say this too, Jay. Somebody has said something about don't get rid of abortions. You guys need to understand that even me running as a congresswoman, when you vote on issues like that, like there are over 500 votes that have to pass. So if you've got 400 votes on the floor where people are voting for abortion, you want balance. Like I cannot in good conscience and in good faith being
I have a question really quickly.
Hold on, being a mother and being a queen, I just cannot go in there because to me, I feel like I'm voting for our future children to die. So I'm not going to vote for it, and I just have to be honest with you guys, whether you vote for me or not, at least I'm not someone that's going to lie to you. But with so many people voting for our future children to die, I'm going to have to vote for them to live, and we'll see how the coins fall. But go ahead.
And also, a question I have for you in a segue of me adding up somebody else. We've talked about this personally, but I would like for you to share your views on it. I know... How do you feel about LGBTQ parents wanting to adopt? And like Sequin was saying, with abortions only being $200, they'll charge you $200 to kill a baby. But for someone who genuinely will love and nourish that child, they're trying to charge you $30,000. $200 to kill, $30,000 to love. So how do you feel about LGBTQ parents adopting?
In all honesty and fairness, I get asked this question a lot. And because I was raised by an LGBT parent, if you will, my Aunt Ellie that we spoke about before, that has been very, very active in my life. And all she ever did was love me. All she ever did was fight for me and made sure that I always had everything that I needed. And if I pick up the phone and call her right now, you know, she's gonna come for me. So I can't be against gay couples adopting children. I just can't. I think that versus killing the baby, they have and can love a child and give a child a loving home. Now, influence is one thing. We understand that, and I think that's how a lot of conservatives feel. But for me personally, I'm not against it, and I thank God for giving me the experience of having a gay parent in my life that never did nothing but show me love. So I can't sit up there and say that because somebody is gay that they can't be a good parent. That I can't say that.
Period.
I can't.
Here you go, Joanne.
Hi, how are you? I'm good. So I just had a question. Miss Angela, you're with the statement that, alternative methods like adoption or foster care, are a thing open to people. But as you being an advocate for sexual abuse, 10 out of 1,000 kids in the adoption system are neglected or abused emotionally and sexually, along with 50% will never graduate or, are more prone to homelessness. What are you doing besides pushing more funding to the adoption system, to help these kids?
Well, for one, entrepreneurship is one thing, and going back to school choice and making sure that we educate our children on how to be successful once they do graduate from school. Because here's the thing, for me personally, and I was saying this the other day, like, I don't remember anybody in school ever teaching me about credit or ever teaching me about financial literacy or ever teaching me about entrepreneurship so that I did know how to make it once I am free. So I've also lived in group homes, and I understand a lot of the abuse that goes on in there. But even when you talk to children that have suffered from some form of abuse like myself, they're still glad to be alive and glad to have their lives, and they've been able to go through those hardships and come out better and make better parents for their own children when they do begin to start their own lives. So it is important that we not only push money for adoption, but that we need to restabilize and reinvent our foster care system as well. And then another thing that we need to focus on when it comes to foster care children, you guys know we hear all the bad stories, but we never hear the good stories. And there are a lot of good, successful stories that come from children that have been adopted. So I don't want us to take, like we do, the 1% of rape and say that all children need to be aborted or we need to keep abortion legal because 1%, or to take the 1% of the abuse and say, oh, well, the foster care system has been completely destroyed. Life is always better than death.
Okay, perfect. That was the only question I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. You ate that up. No shade. And
I love you, Jay. Don't bring nobody else on because mama finna go. I need to finish your paperwork and mine.
You still haven't sent that in?
I did. Did you check the email? She responded. I got to send her something else.
Yeah, I got to speak to her on the 2nd. But okay, so we're going to wrap it up. I would want to have my mom back on here. I think that this was really good. We spent the most of the time talking with ourselves, and I think next time you come on, like, let's do a 6-panel. Let's open it up to some other people who have different views, and let's get up here and let's talk and maybe debate and like answer questions. I think that show would really eat it up. We're currently at 4,000 views, and majority of the panel, it was only me and you. So that kind of just speaks for the weight that the legendary Angela Stacks hold. They call you Angela Stacks on here. That speaks for the weight that you hold on Big O.
Love y'all.
I think you made a lot of good points. And
I need, if y'all in the Atlanta area, I am doing a meet and greet volunteer training for the campaign. I will have Jay let y'all know how y'all can sign up. It's going to be July 15th in Buckhead. Y'all can come out. Y'all can meet me. Let's get on the campaign.
No.
Let's talk about
option.
What?
I'm vetoing it. No. But y'all can support online.
He don't want y'all around his mama.
Y'all can support online. Y'all can support online. Y'all can donate to the campaign. But
follow my page. That's what y'all do. He can't tell y'all what to do on my page.
I can tell him what to do on mine. I support everybody, and I love my mom, and yeah, I love her so much. Shout out to Angela. The next time I bring her on, I want a lot of y'all to come up. Y'all can DM me topics that y'all be interested in and what y'all would want to talk about. And I would like to think that a lot of y'all, if your opinion didn't change of my mom, I would like to think that you got a little bit more insight into who she is. You know what I'm saying? Even if you still feel the same way, even if you feel like, oh, fuck Angela, I still don't like her, at least now you understand a little bit more about who she is as a person. And you won't listen to all the ignorant shit your faves say when they trying to read Jaybez and tell me about my mom, because now she was kind of here to speak for herself, and y'all kind of get her as a person. She's pro-black, she's pro-life, she loves children. Her being sexually abused as a child is why she feels a lot of the way she feels.